Hello everyone, this is Wrestling Watcher YouTube channel. It's about watching professional wrestling. So Kevin Owens and CM Punk, they got kicked off in earnest, I should say, on SmackDown. And boy does this feud feel fresh. Really fresh. And in a really good way. Now, if you're a historical wrestling fan, or a hardcore wrestling fan, I guess I should say, or you just watch indie shoots, old school shoot interviews, then you might have an idea that these two have a past together and they really don't like each other in real life. It's very much a real life thing. I don't know if they've patched things up, but if you know anything about these two, they've had some real life issues. It's got that real life, as I said, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels sort of thing to it, right? And boy, does that make it feel just fresh, different. And I love the interaction with these two. And they're not allowed to talk about their past, at least not yet. Wade Barrett mentioned that on commentary. And Joe Tessitore, who does a great job, really did well done here. These two are no doubt going to have some banger interview segments. And it feels so fresh because it feels so real. Not to say that Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre didn't feel real. But you can tell there was a lot of WWE pizzazz added onto it. Kevin Owens just seems sincere. He does not like CM Punk, and he's not going to hide the fact he doesn't like CM Punk. Now, does that mean he'll be intentionally dangerous in the ring? I don't believe so. He's a pro. So I don't think that'll happen. But CM Punk looked uncomfortable. Certainly looked like he felt that way. And I gotta be honest. I think I made a video about... I think I made a previous video where I talked about Kevin Owens winning the number one contendership at SummerSlam. And I mentioned this feud and how I would predict that it's two baby faces that just don't like each other. And I feel like that's the direction that WWE wants to go in. And, it's interesting at the end, Kevin Owens says, I'm glad, I feel good, I'm not going to let this business turn me into a miserable piece of shit like you. Then he pushes him after CM Punk shakes his head and goes like, come on, man, come on. But I gotta be honest, if there was a little meter on the screen and it was like one side was heel, or one side was babyface, and there was like 100% meter tilting one way or the other. Like, I would almost feel like CM Punk was like 51% heel. Like whatever direction that meter went in is the one who's more heel, and the other side is more babyface. Sort of thing. Imagine that in your head. I would almost have to say that, Kevin Owens was just slightly more babyface, and CM Punk felt just slightly more heel. Not by much. Not by much. It's a subtle thing. But with all the jabs CM Punk took at Owens, I'm the reason you're here. You owe me for being here. Without me, you'd be getting tickets for yourself and your kid to come to a WWE show. All the little, without me, you're nothing sort of things. It felt very shades of heelishness going on there. I don't know if anyone picked up on that. Maybe it's just me. But it's almost like that heel meter went just slightly towards Punk in this segment. Now, maybe that's on purpose. Because if you look at Kevin Owens' promo, he's talking about how, he wanted to come back. He was gone for 17 months, but he made it back. Early on, the fans tried to do the "You Still Got It" chant, and Kevin Owens politely. He was polite. It wasn't a heel thing. It wasn't like I never lost it. Shut up, or these people were a bunch of idiots or anything like that. He just politely looked over at the crowd and said, "I never lost it." I then proceeded with the promo. It was a very polite, sort of slightly babyface-ish Kevin Owens. I like that. And CM Punk came across, especially as I said, with all the jabs. You wouldn't be here without me. They used to call me skinny fat, so do you think anyone was waiting around on you? Sort of the subtle, I don't even know if it's subtle, but it felt, I think subtle's the word, the little bit of body shaming going on there. CM Punk was, it's like I said, if that heel meter was shifting one way or the other, it was slightly more heelish in CM Punk's favor. Now, I don't know if that's a heel turn. I'm not predicting that. But I think we can say, I would guess that fans are going to cheer Kevin Owens a little bit more than Punk in this situation. You remember the Drew McIntyre feud? He started off as the babyface. Drew McIntyre was the heel, but as the feud went on, there were times when people were saying that it felt like a double turn, where Drew was subtly turning into the face because Punk was proving him right. Maybe this will happen here. But it's definitely fresh. Thanks, guys.